Chat, you missed it. Lily was just standing on the couch. Lily was just standing on... Oh, there she is. She's on this couch now. I just set up those pillows. Dude, what is she doing? I just set those pillows up, chat. Could not be bothered. Could not be bothered. What's up, everybody? Welcome into KCSN Live. Appreciate everybody hanging out with me. We got a big show today. A lot to get to. Andy Reid's doing a press conference right now. We'll talk about the stuff from that. Matthew Berry is going to be joining me at 12:20. 12:20, we will have Matthew Berry on. He's going to talk about Chiefs, DraftKings launch in Missouri, all that fun stuff. Really excited to have Matthew Berry on. My good buddy, Benny Heiss.
Hell yeah!
Is going to be joining me. Him and Matthew Berry know each other a little bit. They're going to tell some really good stories. I'm super excited about that. I'm super excited to have those guys on. Talk a little bit of everything going on with the Chiefs, with DraftKings Sportsbook. It's huge. I won my first bet, guys. I won my first bet, my first real bet, right? They got all the gimmies on DraftKings Sportsbook, right? They got those gimmies, those no-brainers. I won my first real bet. Patriots plus 7.5 on Monday Night Football. I hit that one.
Hell yeah!
It was too easy. It was too easy, Chad. I know the Patriots. I knew the Patriots were gonna handle the Giants. And they're hitting like them old Patriots too, Chad. Welcome in, everybody, man. I really do appreciate you. Shout out AP being the first one in the chat.
Hell yeah!
Jackie Moon as well. Shout out Jackie Moon. We're seeing
Hell yeah!
familiar faces in the lot T right now. AP as well. I mean, I already mentioned AP. Jackie Moon. Luis, happy hump day.
Hell yeah!
Happy hump day as you. Drake May is dealing, guys. Like, I actually think Drake May is the MVP. I know AP says nah. I know Jackie says Drake May the MVP. I think Drake May is the MVP. I think Drake May has been playing well enough to be the MVP. Now, his competition he plays is not very good. I believe our friends at DraftKings Sportsbook have him in the lead, right, for the competition to win. Odds-on favorite to win. So we'll see how that goes. As I mentioned, there is lots of Chiefs news going on. It does appear recency bias. Yeah, I'm sure it is. But, like, that's what the MVP is. I think that more than anybody, I think that Drake May has a better narrative to win the MVP. I think Drake May might be better narrative than Matt Stafford. I think it's those two guys, right? But I think May's narrative might be better than Stafford's at this point. Now, obviously, that can change. There's still 5 weeks left to go in the season, so we'll see. D-Fizz.
Hell yeah!
What's up, dude? Welcome into the chat. I'm really excited to have Matthew Berry. 12:20 is when Matthew Berry is coming on. 12:20. It's hard to believe that Drake May could be MVP. He's playing really well, guys. Like, I thought Drake May, it's easy for me to say this now. I don't know if I can go find receipts, but I thought Drake May was the best quarterback in that draft class. I thought he would be a better NFL quarterback than Caleb Williams was. Now, Caleb Williams had a little bit more talent, right? But I thought that he could be a little bit better. Or I thought Drake May could be a little bit better in the NFL than Caleb Williams would be. Watching him make the deep balls is sad. Matty Staff gets the TDs against the strong opponents for sure. And Matt Stafford's going to have that argument, right? Of he's played a harder schedule. He's going to have that argument, and that's going to help, I'm sure. But Drake May has been pretty consistently good. Drake May's team stunk last year, and he came in. I know he was the quarterback for that team, but I think that his narrative of taking a bad team and being the first team since like Peyton Manning for a team to win 12 games after being stinky is going to be kind of a mainstream narrative that people will talk about. It's also a QB award where we would be talking about JT. Yeah, JT hasn't played very well the past few weeks. JT has not played very well. It's really unfortunate that he hasn't played very well, truthfully. But I think it's a 2-horse race at this point between Stafford and May. I'm not going to be upset if either one of those guys wins the MVP, truthfully. I think fun year for it, truthfully. May or Stafford win the MVP, that'd be great. Bills fans would be in shambles if May wins it. Absolute shambles. All right, as I mentioned, Andy Reid, when we started the show, started his press conference. Here is what Matt McMullen said. Josh Simmons wrist, Chris Roland-Wallace back, Jawan Taylor tricep, and Trey Smith ankle will not practice today for the Chiefs. Simmons had surgery on his wrist and will be placed on IR. Coach said Smith, Taylor, and Roland-Wallace are all making progress. Myles Garrett, Defus says, in all seriousness, Myles Garrett should be MVP. I'm sorry, but he's that good. Myles Garrett is a dog, dude. If Mahomes runs the table convincingly outside shot, maybe. I could definitely see that. Simmons having surgery on his wrist is a bummer. He'll be on IR. He'll be out 4 of the next 5 games, at least. At least 4 of the next 5 for the Chiefs. So that's a huge hit. Did Essa Poole got signed to the 53? Essa made the 53? Oh, I didn't see that. Let me check my let me check my oh, shout out Kent. Thank you Kent. Ian's tweeting it out that Simmons had surgery on his wrist, head of the injured reserve. Same there. Mizzou signing class of 26. You guys want to see that? You guys want to see that? No, I don't see that. Also, Adam to the Steelers is probably the funniest thing I've seen in a while. The Steelers won a geriatric unit. They said, "Oh, the Commanders have an older roster than I do. We got to sign older players." It's kind of funny. Where did Lily go? Is Lily still there? Lily is cashed, guys. Look at this. Lily's cashed. Cashed. She's cashed, dude. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. If both tackles are out, who plays left tackle and right tackle? That's from Jackie Moon. Shout out, Jackie. I think that right tackle will probably be Wanya Morris. Left tackle will probably be Jalen Moore. I would actually be shocked. I would be shocked if they were like, all right, Essa Poole. Oh, Andy said Essa Poole will take over? Did I miss that in the presser? Let me scroll through my timeline here, chat. Yeah, Wanya Morris doesn't really need to play ever again. I agree with Jackie. Let me peruse the timeline here. If you guys have seen a tweet, drop it for me. But I didn't think that I had seen the Essa Poole discourse. He said it right after announcing injuries. Oh, okay. But I'm not sure which position he's taking over. So yeah, Simmons. Yeah, I guess Simmons going on the 50 or going on the IR opens up a spot for Poole to make the roster, right? So like that would make sense. That would make sense. Okay, here we go. Here's from Charles Goldman right here, chat. Charles Goldman, Chiefs head coach Andy Reid says the backup O-line guys are getting ready to go in week 14. The one positive is that 2 of the 3 played against the Texans last year. He says Wanya Morris would be left tackle and Jalen Moore would be right tackle. Chat, I went through a lot of emotions right there just trying to write that tweet. I don't get that one. Yo, Patrick, shout out.
Hell yeah.
I know everybody's getting their sorry guys, I'm gonna make a live tweet. That's good. I'll go with that one. Okay, music down, please. Vibes are low. Yeah, I know that, guys. I'm gonna be honest with you. I came in with some pretty high vibes because obviously Matthew Berry's gonna be on the podcast on the stream here in about 5 minutes. So that's awesome. That's sick. And it's Spotify Rap Day, plus YouTube is also doing their like Raptor recap or whatever they're calling it. I came in with some pretty high vibes, chat. We did. Did I get my headphones? I latched my headphones inside my chain. I came in with some pretty high vibes, truthfully, because of all the situations. But like this tweet, guys, is taking the wind out of my sails. This is taking the wind straight out of my sails. I guess we pray that Jawan Taylor can go. Why is Wanyamura left? I don't understand this. I don't understand this, chat. I'm messing up my hair because I don't understand it. Wanya Morris? And somehow Moore got paid to play left tackle but doesn't play it? Yeah, Jack, that's what I'm saying. That doesn't make any sense. This has to be... Please say psych right now. What in the world, dude? We're gonna have to get the vibes back up, man, when Matthew Berry comes on the pod, because we can't be like this when it comes on. Now, Jake, I will say that is if Jawan is out. It's if Jawan is out, and I think that they're really gonna push him to play in this game, obviously, because that's their backup plan. That one kind of that stings. That is it. Okay, AP is making a good point. That's if Taylor doesn't play, right? So there's still plenty. Like Jawan Taylor still could play in this football game, and it could be. No, I mean I don't know. I don't know. Defizz, I agree with you. I did not sign up for this. I did not sign up about this. I mean, for this. I got something to lift our spirits, though. Something to lift our spirits before Matthew Berry hops on. I got Benny Heiss. Benny!
Hey!
What's going on, my man? How you been?
What's up, Tuck? Thanks for the opportunity to hang out with you and the talented Mr. Roto coming up in just a second. I'm fired up about it. I last talked to him back in 2019 for the Awful Announcing podcast, and I think it's safe to say that the sports betting and fantasy world has changed just a tad between then and now, wouldn't you say?
Oh, dude. So much has changed, especially in this great state of Missouri. In the great state of Missouri, we got all kinds of stuff. Benny, I was just telling the chat, I was just telling the people watching this, the first bet that I had made in the state of Missouri, the first like real bet, right? Because DraftKings will give you like the freebies, you know, they'll give you the no-brainers, yes. Right? The first real bet that I made was Patriots plus 7.5. And I was like, you know, Very, very simple, straightforward, bet a spread, and let's just get after it. Ground and pound football is basically how I took it for it. And look, Patriots pulled through, so I guess I have to vote Drake May as the MVP because that's how we roll. That's how we roll.
I was going to say, if it must have been a really good promotion if it was Patriots plus 7.5.
Oh, minus 7.5 as well.
I was going to say, listen, they've given us some fantastic deals all throughout the course of the season, but if they were willing to flip the spread on you, more power to you, man.
Yeah, minus 7.5. I was like, that's a no-brainer, right? Like that's more of a no-brainer than the Chiefs Texans to gain a yard, right? Is what seems like a little bit more of a no-brainer.
I don't know if you ask some Chiefs fans, they may not be convinced that anybody's getting a yard these days.
Yeah, I did send that. One of my buddies sent me that. It was like, all right, here's the no-brainer for this weekend. And I was like, I don't know if it's that no-brainer. I mean, I think the Chiefs might jeopardize it. But yeah, appreciate everybody hanging out, watching with us. Matthew should be on here shortly. We'll talk about him with all kinds of stuff, especially with DraftKings coming to Missouri. There's so much to talk to him about in that regard. The Chiefs season has been less than desirable. Ben, your Chicago Bears are killing it, dude.
I know, like between the Bears and between Indiana, like I don't know what to do with my hands.
I forgot about Indiana.
There's still that part of me that's kind of waiting for the other shoe to drop. I think Indiana at this point, it's safe to say that regardless of what happens against Ohio State in the Big Ten championship game, they should get a bye to be one of the 4 seeds that makes it all the way to the quarterfinals. With the Bears, it's a tough part of their schedule coming up. They got 2 more against Green Bay.
Yep.
Got the Week 17 game against the Detroit Lions. But you figure even if they go 2-3 in the final stretch of the season, they're still probably a playoff team at 9-3.
Oh yeah.
They're ahead of schedule, and that's always something exciting to see. But I'm trying to keep myself relatively level-headed, knowing that there's a lot more improvement that they can get to.
Absolutely. This show can also get to a lot more improvement because we got joining us now, Matthew Berry. Matthew, how you doing? Thank you for joining the show. Thank you for hopping on with us.
My pleasure, guys. How are you?
Good.
Can you
good.
hear me?
Oh yeah, you're great.
Good.
Coming in perfect. Got a great backdrop going on there, and a great time to celebrate DraftKings Sportsbook coming to the state of Missouri. I was just telling Benny here, my first bet that I had that wasn't the no-brainers that DraftKings offers. Like you obviously have to take those, right? Was Patriots minus 7.5. So that almost felt like free money too, Matt.
Yeah, and obviously that worked out. I assume you mean for Monday night. You took it Monday night.
Yes, sir.
You got right in. So the day that opened up legal in state of Missouri, you were right there, which I love. Appreciate that. Yeah, they got a great offer going on right now that if you're in the state of Missouri, for new customers, if you bet $5, you sign up and you bet $5, just $5, they'll give you $300 in bonus bets instantly. Wow. So, and then, obviously you take those bonus bets. Hopefully you take my advice and make some more money as well. But it's a pretty great deal at DraftKings. And, it's for me, again, always bet responsibly, only bet what you can afford to lose. But I just think it's so much fun. It just gives you a rooting interest in games you would not care about, to your point. Like, all right, Patriots, Giants, maybe not the sexiest game, but when you got Patriots minus 7.5, now it's interesting. Now you care.
Yeah.
Matthew, I was going to say it's been a few years since the two of us had a chance to catch up. We talked on the Awful Announcing podcast back in 2019, so many moons ago. Yeah. And Tucker and I were just talking before you joined us. Boy, how much has the sports betting and fantasy landscape changed since then, where it wasn't available in almost every state, now certainly coming to the state of Missouri. What I'm curious about is, before that was when you were still with ESPN, you were mostly focused on the season-long aspect of fantasy. And now I catch you on Football Night in America, and I catch your advice over on Fantasy Life. And we're talking a lot of player props and plays directly for the game. As someone who helped the fantasy world kind of get into that limelight, what's been more fun for you to cover, the season-long aspect of sports betting or the week-by-week, game-by-game side of it?
Yeah, honestly, I think the week-to-week, game-by-game, because that more aligns with what I do. For years and years and years, I've always been, I've been basically doing player props before it was ever legal, because that's what fantasy football is. I think this guy does this. I don't think this guy does this. My love hate column that I wrote for years and years and years. This is the first year I'm not writing it, but the love hate column was always about players that I thought would exceed projections or fall short of them. And so, I mean, that's really all player props are, is like, here's the line. Do I think this guy goes over or under that line? And so for me, I really enjoy the week to week of it. I love the matchups. I love diving into the numbers. Is this guy good against zone and he's not good against man? Oh, he's playing a defense that 75% zone. Okay. I like, and so just being able to kind of crunch the numbers, dig into the tape. I enjoy the week to week of it more.
Let's dive into a big game in the AFC landscape in terms of the playoff. The playoff picture kind of turned on its head now and when you talk about recent years and all these teams, it kind of feels like it's 2010 again, I guess, when you go back and look at the teams at the top. But Matt, you'll be kind of covering that game. You'll be on it for Football Night in America. What do you like in Chiefs Texans in this one, as we are getting some news now that Josh Simmons is going on IR. Jawan Taylor's not practicing on Wednesday. We'll see how that offensive line situation shapes up, especially with how good the Texans defensive line is. But how are you feeling in that one so far?
I mean, so are you asking just in general? Are you asking from a fantasy perspective? Look,
just in general, yeah. Whether we can dive into kind of the nitty gritty, but just kind of big picture thoughts about this game.
I think it's going to be an amazing game on Sunday Night Football on NBC. Not just because I'm a company man, but it's a must win for both teams.
Yeah.
I mean, it is season on the line, I think, for both teams. Probably less so for the Texans than the Chiefs, just because of the divisions they're in, obviously, with the way the Broncos are playing, and we expect the Chargers to finish strong down the stretch. So I think the Chiefs have more of a desperation here than the Texans, who I think still have a path to win the AFC South, even if they don't win this game. But it's a huge game for both of them. And you mentioned this, again, we saw this Texans defense. They sacked Josh Allen, who's a mobile quarterback, obviously, 8 times that Thursday night. And now you mentioned, obviously, Mahomes is a guy that's so great at extending plays and escaping the pocket, but so is Josh Allen. And they got home to him, and given all the injuries to the offensive line, it could be a long day for 15. My expectation here is they try to run the ball quite a bit. I think Kareem and Isaiah will be busy on Sunday night. But ultimately, the other thing is so many people want to talk about, the Chiefs, they're beat up, offensive line, they've struggled, they're not the Chiefs so old. I get it, but it's not like the Texans have a great offensive line. Right. We need Chris Jones to be Chris Jones. We saw it last week. It's been, I think, an up and down season for Chris this year, but we need Chris Jones, and we need, Spags to dial up some plays, because I do think that Stroud, when he gets pressure, starts to see the yips a little bit. We saw that last year, and so they don't run the ball that effectively. So if you can get to him and disrupt the passing, take Nico Collins out of that passing attack, I think you guys got a shot.
One stat that I found out that was certainly interesting for this from the great Evan Abrams is that any team playing a road or neutral site game before going to Arrowhead to face Mahomes, 2-21 straight up. The only quarterbacks that have won in that scenario, Josh Allen and Joe Burrow, with all of the quarterbacks 0-20 straight up in this spot. Matthew, when you look at the Chiefs collectively, from maybe your impressions before the season started, knowing that they had a bit of an uphill climb, but also recognizing this was still the team that had played in back-to-back Super Bowls and had made the AFC Championship, 6 of the last 7 years. What was your impression then versus now? How much has changed given sort of the circumstances that Kansas City finds themselves in?
How much has changed in terms of what? In terms of
your own expectations of the team coming into the season.
Oh, yeah, fair. Okay, got it. Yeah, significantly. I'll be honest. So I picked them in the Super Bowl last year, and I did my show from Radio Row all week long, and I did a number of media events. I did Radio Row, and I did appearances up and down the dial, right? And I was asked, why do you like the Chiefs over the Eagles? And what I said, honestly, I think the Eagles are better at every position than the Chiefs, except for 2, head coach and quarterback.
Yeah.
And I said, but as long as you got Andy Reid and you got 15, you've got a chance. And so I just think, and probably tight end. I think I also said tight end, right? And so I just said, but if you've got a better head coach and you got a better quarterback, you've got a chance in every game. And it's honestly, I don't have a great stat for you guys, but my belief in Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes that they find a way to win. They always do. Andy Reid off of a bye. He'll have had 2 weeks to prepare for the Eagles in the Super Bowl. We all know Andy Reid off of a bye, right? It's money in the bank. And then they go out and they get their ass kicked.
Yeah.
That's as dominant a Super Bowl win as I think we've seen in a long time. And so from that moment on, it sort of felt like, oh, the Chiefs are human. And so this year you were sort of like, it was interesting, right? Like, we were sort of making excuses like, well, he doesn't have Rashee Rice. Oh, now Xavier Worthy's hurt. Like, well, when he gets his weapons back. And I think the big difference has been, and we've seen flashes of it, right? Mahomes, we've seen flashes of, MVP, best quarterback in the NFL, Mahomes. We've seen that throughout the season, but we haven't seen it consistently. And I think the other big difference this year is that the defense is no longer scary to me, right? It used to, over the last couple of years, it was just like, we always knew Mahomes could chuck it deep. And we always knew Mahomes could just, will a team to win. But also he didn't need to over the last couple of years because the defense was crushing it. I'm sure you guys have looked at this a lot deeper than I have, but it does seem like Patrick Mahomes' numbers with Tyreek Hill and past Tyreek Hill, it's a different thing. And so I just think that, again, I go back to that. As long as you have Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, you have a chance in any NFL game. But do I think they're a little bit more human this year? I do, because they've gotten their pieces back and they still, they're still beatable.
Yeah, 100%. And that's kind of one thing that we wanted to talk about too, is like this playoff picture starting to shape up. Chiefs find themselves outside looking in. A lot of sportsbooks, DraftKings Sportsbook specifically, had the Chiefs as Super Bowl favorites for a very long time as they were sitting on the outside looking in, which us in Kansas City were just kind of chuckling because of what you're mentioning, Matthew. It was just like, they've got Patrick Mahomes, they've got Andy Reid, they'll probably flip the switch. I guess just bluntly, do you think they make the playoffs this year?
I do think they make the playoffs this year, and I think they'll be dangerous. I think they squeeze in as the 7th seed. I think just because you've got teams that are starting to falter a little bit, right? Yeah. And so I think only one team comes out of the North, and I think probably only one team, maybe two, comes out of the South. So I think, I think you're starting to see the Colts are starting to seem a little bit more human. Not sure the Jags are real. The Chargers are so beat up as well. You guys think you guys have offensive line problems? Right. Go talk to Jim Harbaugh. So I think that as you sort of look through it, I don't think the Bills are a lock to make it. They probably do at 8-4, but like the Bills have started to look human. And so you just sort of sit there and go, like, you start doing the math. Right. But they need to win this week. So I do think they make it in. But I think that it's got to start this week. I think it's got to start this week.
You were talking about the Chiefs and their opportunity if they get into the postseason. Right now, DraftKings has them at plus 950 to win the AFC. And as anyone who's followed this team for a long time knows, that this is a team that has made it to plenty of AFC championship games. So maybe some possible value on the line over at DraftKings. Plus 1,800 to win the Super Bowl. And then if you think Kansas City can still come back and win that division in the AFC West. Currently, that line for Kansas City is 25-1. Boy, in what world did you ever imagine that we'd be looking at the Kansas City Chiefs as 25-1 odds to win the AFC West? It almost goes to tell you that because of Denver's hot start, and even with the Chargers' inconsistencies, and do you look at Denver the way that DraftKings and some of these other books look at them and say, yeah, these are a legitimate favorite to not only win the division, but perhaps make a deep run and play in the postseason for a while?
It's weird. I don't. But on the other hand, I don't. But on the other hand, I've been wrong before, right? Like I kept last year with the Chiefs. It was one of those things where it's like, Chiefs, they can't keep getting away with it. Mm-hmm. They kept eking out these wins. It was literally the meme, right? They can't keep getting away with it. And yet they did until obviously the Super Bowl when they didn't. And I feel like Denver is now that team, right? If you go back and look at it, from the game last year, the Denver game last year, when they won on the block, with the Chiefs won on the block field goal, right? Yeah. From that moment on, it just feels like it's sort of like a Freaky Friday thing where the team switched because the Denver from that moment on, Denver started winning all those kind of games where there's no way they're beating this game. But look, they're down a couple of touchdowns to New York in the fourth quarter. How are they winning this one, right? They just keep getting away with it. They keep winning like on last second, like against Washington, right? Washington had them dead to rights on the 2-point conversion, and kid makes a great play, jumps up, but if Mariota just throws a little bit more of a moon ball, they lose that game. And so, like, again, they've made the plays, but it feels like Denver keeps sort of getting away with it. I think they're a good football team, but I don't think they're a 10-2 football team. They're a little fraudulent to me. I'm not convinced Bo Nix is all that. He's just been too inconsistent this year for me. The defense is legit, but there's no one on that offense that scares you, right? If you think about Kansas City offensively, Mahomes obviously scares you. Rashee Rice scares me. I think Kelsey scares you, right? So, like, there's 3 guys on Kansas City that you're like, I have to figure out, if I'm a defense coordinator, I got to figure out where these guys are at all times. Like, does Cortland Sutton scare you? Does RJ Harvey scare you? I got to figure out where Troy Franklin is. Like, no one's saying that. It's a fine offense. Peyton's a great offensive coach, and I think they outpunched their weight, so to speak. But I think they're a fraudulent 10-2. I think they are a good team. They're not a great team. That's why, I think the Patriots actually make the Super Bowl, believe it or not. Ooh. I think they win home. I think they get home field, and I think Foxborough is just one of those places where it's tough to go in and win. If the Chiefs get in, they're going to be dangerous, but I'm not convinced on any of the AFC South teams unless the Texans get in, because that defense is legit. But I'm still not convinced on Stroud. And then Lamar just doesn't look right. The only team in the North that you think really has a chance is the Ravens, and Lamar just does not seem healthy.
Right. Matthew, I really do appreciate your time and appreciate you taking some time talking to us. So I got the godfather of fantasy sports with me. I would be remiss if I didn't talk a little bit about what your experience in fantasy, like what's the craziest thing that you've gotten to do because of fantasy football, of just being a fantasy sports guy. Then all of a sudden you're looking around and be like, wait, I'm here because of this.
Yeah, I mean, there's too many to list, right? I mean, even the fact that, listen, I'm going to be on Sunday Night Football. Like, I'm going to be at Arrowhead on Sunday on the field holding an NBC microphone as part of Football Night in America, the biggest pregame show. The idea that me, a guy that never played the game, is going to be, as part of the biggest NFL pregame show out there is sort of crazy. But the most insane thing that I've ever gotten to do because of my involvement with fantasy sports is I have a cameo in Avengers Endgame. I'm in that movie. I am next to Robert Redford in the scene in Stark Tower, talking with Tony Stark and Thor as we battle over a briefcase holding the Tesseract. So that's me next to Robert Redford. I have 4 lines. I'm only on camera for one of them, but if you watch it on Disney Plus and you use closed captioning, you'll see Shield Agent ends up having like 4 lines. And so it's the only movie I've ever done. And it's actually the highest grossing movie of all time worldwide. So when you do the math on a per movie basis, I am actually the highest grossing actor of all time worldwide, thanks to my role in Avengers Endgame. And that came about entirely because of fantasy football. Joe Russo of the Russo brothers, who directed that movie, and they're directing the next 2 Avengers movies as well, is a big fantasy football player and has read my column for years and years and years. We have a mutual friend. The mutual friend, once he found out that we were fans of each other, ended up connecting us because Joe was like, "Oh, I'll read Matthew Berry every week," and so we connected and we started texting and emailing, and then we grabbed dinner when we were in the same city, and we just became really good friends. And we have a meal probably twice a year when we're he's in London all the time now shooting all these movies, so we don't get to see each other that often, but we text all the time. He's a crazy Browns fan, and so we just became friends through fantasy football. We play in a league together. We played in a league together for years. And, one day he just calls me and says, "Hey man, if you're free in November, I got a role for you in Avengers Endgame. If you'd like to come out and be part of it." When do I get there? So that is something that came entirely because of fantasy football. So that's, that's the idea that I would be in a Hollywood movie, let alone, this massive blockbuster, the culmination of a 10-year MCU, Marvel Cinematic Universe, saga, 23 films, it all culminates in Avengers Endgame, and I'm a part of that. and by the way, and I'm next to Robert Redford.
Right.
Like, it's the old Sesame Street thing. One of these things is not like the other. One of these things doesn't belong. Robert Downey Jr., Robert Redford, Chris Hemsworth, and me. Like there's a motion picture that was made in America and that's the frame, is those 4 people. It's insane, right? And the hilarious thing is that was Robert Redford's last film appearance before he passed away, the late great Robert Redford. And so we will see at the upcoming Oscars, but when they do In Memoriam.
Oh no, Matt, we lost you there.
Yeah, I think
I wonder if I'll be in the Oscars because I'm going to be next to Robert Redford in his last ever film appearance.
I hope that's a prop bet that gets put on DraftKings. Is will Matthew Berry make an appearance during the In Memoriam stage? And by the way, if there's one way to even bring it back to Kansas City, if memory serves, Matthew, I believe you introduced some, D-list actor named Chris Pratt to some D-list quarterback named Patrick Mahomes. So there might have been another fun, unique fantasy connection there too.
Yeah, for sure. So when Chris Pratt used to be married to a woman named Anna Faris. Anna Faris has a podcast called, I forget what it's called. But it's like Anna Faris. It's not Anna Faris finds out, but it's something like but the whole premise of her podcast is learning about stuff she doesn't know. Oh. And she has experts on, her show. And so Chris Pratt, who had never played fantasy football before in his life, when they were married, got invited into a high-stakes fantasy football league. And so Anna asked me to be on the podcast to give her advice, to give her advice to give it to her husband. And so through that, I ended up getting connected to Chris after the show. Anna took my number and connected me with Chris, and so we've become friends. And so I've introduced him to fantasy football. I'm happy to say he won the championship that year. He's done very well, and so introduced him to a number of people in the world of fantasy football. Yes, and I think he had Mahomes that year.
Good. That's you love to hear it, especially in Kansas City. Matthew, obviously appreciate your time. Shout out to all the work that you're doing. Football Night in America, you'll be out in Kansas City, as you mentioned. Shout out to DraftKings Sportsbook as well, live in Missouri. Make sure to go take advantage of that offer and that offer that you mentioned at the top too. So Matthew, really appreciate your time. Thanks, man.
Great to see you, Matthew.
Great to see you guys. Thanks so much. Appreciate you.
Yeah, we'll see you.
That was fun.
Yeah, man, that's good stuff there from Matthew Berry. Chat, appreciate everybody hanging out with us here. What a guy! Like being an Avengers Endgame, just because of that.
That's the fun part about it too. Like I know that his long site and his daily site Fantasy Life, like he wrote a book about it. Very, very cool moments to get a chance to catch up with him. And the 10-2 fraudulent Denver Broncos.
Dude, he was speaking my language, talking about how Bo Nix sucks. I've been getting peppered for that take for a long time because of obviously how the Chiefs played against Bo Nix. Rightfully so. They should tell me that I'm an idiot. But I still have not been moved by Bo Nix even a little bit in any of the games that he's played in his NFL career.
No, it's very, and again, I hate to try to bring things back to the Bears, but you remember that year that magical run in 2018 with Mitchell Trubisky at the helm for the Bears?
Shout out Matt Nagy.
Really good defense, few guys making plays here and there, and they really were much better than what their record indicated. Kind of feels like the Broncos could get double doinked out of the playoffs in the first round.
It really does. It really does. And that's what it feels like is going to happen, right? Is like they're eventually going to defecate all over themselves, but it's going to be in the playoffs is when it's going to happen. You look at their schedule. I think the Jags game might be the toughest game that they have left. Obviously, they play the Chiefs, but it'll be Chiefs and Jags, I think, is kind of the biggest ones. And now Chiefs fans are looking at the playoff picture, and they're gonna have to be Jags fans the rest of the way. They need the Jags to win the South is really what it comes down to, so they don't have to deal with them not having the tiebreaker over the Jags.
Exactly. Like they're on the road against the Raiders this week, and then home against the Packers. You get the Jacksonville Jaguars, and then the Chiefs, and then the Chargers to wrap up the season for Denver. So, listen, anything is possible. The Chiefs could get hot, and the Broncos could be one injury away from going into a slump. But it does feel like this is going to be a team that does get exposed in the postseason. Yeah,
it really does. The Broncos, this is anecdotally, right? But it feels like all of their hard games, I'm going to look this up, all of their tough games have been at home. They've played a lot of their toughest games at home, and a lot of their big wins have come at Mile High. It feels like.
Yeah, including a couple of comeback wins that they really had no business winning either.
Yeah, the Giants one was I know that one was at home. They beat the Cowboys at home. I throttled the Cowboys. They did almost lose to the Raiders at home though on Thursday Night Football. That was a fun game to watch because it sucked so bad. But like they beat the Chiefs at home.
One of those like painful watch games where it's like, all right, at least I know that one of the teams that I loathe is going to lose.
It was the Colts and Broncos game, pretty much exactly.
That's right.
Was it Russell Wilson? I think was the quarterback there, and it was like Russell Wilson and Jacoby, maybe not even Jacoby Brissett. I don't even know who their quarterback would have been at that point. Matt Ryan, maybe.
Yeah. One other thing too that Matthew Berry said when he was talking about being able to offer up a fantasy advice to the stars of Hollywood.
Oh,
and as cool as that sounds, and yes, we've both talked about some betting picks that we've given out here on KCSN. Wouldn't that kind of terrify you a little bit, especially if you get it wrong? Like you get somebody, some big name guy that's like, who do you think I should take today? And you just completely botch it. Like you gotta have some major stones for that moment to feel good about it.
Oh my gosh, I know. It's like, what if they have like a draft, right? And they're asking you about like fantasy draft. I've got the first overall pick. That guy like tears their ACL in like a preseason game, and you're like, dang it.
Yeah, that one's not on you. I'm talking about like if you just buy into a guy and he just flat out.
Oh, that's fair.
You were like Jamarcus Russell's going to throw for 4,000 yards.
Well, to be fair, Al Davis thought that too. That didn't really work out. But yeah, no, that's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, absolutely it is. So if you go in with a bit of an understanding, knowing that hey, these are just suggestions. They're not. Nothing is a lock. Maybe except for the 1 yard promotion, but after that, who knows? Like you just have to go in and trust your process. And I know that sounds very coach speaky, but from a betting standpoint, that's kind of how you have to go about it. Like you trust your number, you trust your projections, and you follow it as best you can.
As my good friend Sean Barber would always say, the process is always greater than what it produces. And
I like that.
And he lives by that motto every day of falling in love with the process. Some of the best or some of the most successful coaches that I have talked to have also had like that philosophy. I know that's not really what we're talking about, but you talked about the coach speak and the process of all that. Ben McCollum, the head coach of the Iowa Hawkeyes right now, was obviously at Drake. I mean, very good. Like he was at Northwest Missouri State when I covered them, and they won back-to-back national titles. And I took a coaching basketball class with him, and that was one of the big things that he preached was like, you cannot focus on like what is happening. You have to focus on literally the day-to-day. How do you win each moment? And I was like, that is like that thought process, that philosophy of like, if you dominate each moment, each practice, each drill, then the product will come. But so like the process you have to kind of fall in love with. And that was just something I've just kind of altered the way that I thought about things. And I've thought about that a lot, especially when it comes just to with a bunch of other things with, content and everything. But you can apply that in a bunch of different facets of your life.
I completely agree. And it's also nice when you hear a coach actually talk like a human being.
Yeah.
And make things a little bit more like relatable and all encompassing. Because coaches tend to live in a very sort of off kilter world. And it'll be nice to go from somebody like Fran McCaffrey at Iowa to Ben McCollum, where you go from not a particularly likable guy to a very likable guy in McCollum. It'll be weird for Iowa fans to see them, winning games like 65-62. But they do play a slower style of offense, but they're very good from an efficiency level on offense and defense. Again, not why you called, but as someone who had interest in Ben McCollum as a possible Indiana candidate. I'm very happy with Darren DeVries, but still, I'm excited for that to all go down, and that's very cool that you had a chance to cover him.
Oh yeah, AP said, Sporting AP in the chat said, you mean the coach of the Bearcats? Yeah, I do. They did have an undefeated season, so Duke usually hosts the D2 National Championship in an exhibition game. They took Duke to the brink. Trevor Hudgens had 27 in that game.
Yeah.
Trevor Hudgens ended up playing for the Rockets. So I mean, like they had some dudes on that team.
Dudes.
They had Trevor Hudgens. They had Ryan Hawkins, who I think played for the Raptors for a little bit, and also transferred to Creighton and had that big March Madness run with Creighton.
That's right.
So they had some dudes on that team, Benny. I mean, but people didn't hop on to hear our college basketball talks. I mean, lots. I don't want to talk about college basketball because of Mizzou losing to Notre Dame last night. But yeah, how are things been? How have things been, Benny? We haven't caught up in a while with everything.
I know. I feel like Verderame is still ducking me.
Yep.
We're pushing week 14 and haven't had a chance to catch up with the two of you guys on the show. But no, I'm doing well. We were talking, like I said, but before Matthew came on, that I'm living in a fantasy world right now with my two teams, my two football teams, the Bears in Indiana, doing great. Right. Getting ready for the holidays here with the family, and trying to stay alert on all these different betting plays here on KCSN. Been another fun season, year number 3, hanging out with you guys. It's been what a joy to be able to keep this part of my career going and have some fun and keep it local.
Absolutely. I mean, we'll have 5 things with your pick, Chiefs pick coming out here. We'll see if we can. We'll see if I can tie down Verderame. He's kind of a squirrely guy. Sometimes I'll just get a text in the middle of the night and it's like, let's record right now, and I'm like, all right, fine.
You're getting you up text from Verderame?
Yeah, pretty much. Much. Like, you want to record a podcast right now? It's like 11:30 at night, and I'm just like, I guess, sure, we can record it. So it's I do greatly enjoy that, but I know a lot of people enjoy that football show. But Matt has been very fun to work with, and it's really funny. I think I've talked about the kind of the start of that show before. I think Matt and I have kind of talked about it. Just like, it was BJ. I think Matt went to BJ during the combine like 2 years ago, and said like, "Hey, look," he was taking the SI job and was like, "I've got some freedom to do a little bit more stuff. Would love to work." And BJ's like, "You want to do a podcast with Tucker?" And he's like, "I mean, I know Tucker, and sure." And BJ was like, "Do you want to do a podcast with Matt?" And I was like, "I mean, I know Matt, sure. I mean, I guess we've talked before. He'd been a guest on a couple podcasts before." Sure. And then it just kind of, first couple was feeling out, just like feeling it out. Then we finally really got the chemistry, I think, last year, and we've been cooking. It's been a fun show. I've really enjoyed doing the show.
Yeah, that's what it's about. Like, sometimes the most unlikely partners, whether it be like in radio or podcasting or TV or really anything, you don't expect it to. It's going back to the coaching analogy. Like, sometimes the best coaching staffs aren't the guys that the head coach thinks, "So these are my buddies, these are my friends, these are the people I know really well." It's who's got the different backgrounds, who's got different philosophies, who's going to be willing to raise their hand and disagree with me when I come out. You don't want a bunch of yes people. So anytime you get sort of these different dynamics, but there's a willingness to try to play off each other a little bit. And I know you and Verderame do a great job with that, just like a lot of shows on KCSN. There's that dynamic of like, all right, well, I don't know where this other guy's going to take it, but let's go with it. Let's roll with it and let's see where it happens. That's where you get a lot of crazy show magic. And I certainly remember that from my time at the Drive with 610 with Danny and Carrington. You have some unlikely pairings and they work because there's a willingness to sort of see, well, let's see how far we can take it and how aggressive can we go, but also willing to be able to back that person up too. So you never know when a lot of those weird chemistry moments are going to come from, but they do happen.
True. I really liked what John Summerall, I think it was John Summerall, it was him or Golish, I think it was Summerall, said in his press conference of like, "I don't hire my friends."
That was John Summerall over with Florida from Tulane.
Yeah, and I think that's a perfect way to kind of approach it and go about it. It's a great way that I think that we would kind of hope to see in Kansas City a little bit on the Chiefs coaching staff. But nevertheless, big game coming up this weekend with Chiefs and Texans. Benny, appreciate you hopping on with me and just talking with some Matthew Berry. I'm glad that we got to talk a little bit before and a little bit after, man.
Always fun talk. Thanks for having me. Thanks for giving me the chance to catch up with my old buddy Matthew Berry.
Absolutely.
And we'll talk again soon. We got plenty to discuss.
Yes, we do. We got a lot to discuss. I'll see you later, Benny.
All right, man. Be good.
Appreciate you. All right, folks. I'll go for a few more minutes here on KCSN Live. Appreciate everybody hanging out with me, man. Let me know what you thought about the interview about Matthew Berry. I just saw your question, AP Benny. Who's going to be the next manager of Sporting KC, and why is it Benny Feilhaber? That would be sick, dude. I would love that. Have I ever showed you guys this picture? Let me see if I can find it. It's not Benny Feilhaber. It's me and Matt Beasler. We did a jersey. I think this was when the Current were playing in Sporting, and we did a jersey swap. Let me see if I can find it. I gotta go to my Google Photos because my Google Photos actually has more photos than my photo app does. Let me know. Hey guys, let me know in the chat. Spotify Wrapped. If your Spotify Wrapped came out, what you got there in terms of is KCSN there? I need to check and see what the YouTube one is. I've seen a couple people tag me on Twitter. Also, if you have Twitter, tag me on Twitter. I'll retweet it. I'll give you a look at this guy or look at this man. Negative New York and bring in Dougie P. Crystal and Wallace Juwan and train out practice today. Yes. Yes. I'll go back. Oh, let's go back. I'll go back over that. Top 1% of KCSN listeners and TBH. I was down this year.
Hell yeah!
Shout out Seamus. Shout out, dude. Let me see if I can find soccer. If I just search soccer in my Google Photos, if this will come up. That is Arrowhead Stadium. That's not soccer. I mean, this was like 3 years ago. My YouTube Music Year in Review came out today. Oh, sick, dude. Is that what it is? YouTube Music doing year in review. I guess Kafka didn't learn Don't Judge from Andy Reid by benching Carter. I don't know what... It was tardiness, right? Is that what they called it? I know there was a report going around that I think was fake. Hell yeah, Jake.
Hell yeah!
Glad that you're glad that we are number one for you. You're number one in all of our hearts. Dude, I've got so many training camp clips on here. This can't be right. Jersey. Let's go. Here, let's type in soccer jersey. I don't even remember what year it would have been. Try searching Olathe Northwest grad who got bodied by AP in high school preseason to find Matt. Bro, that's hilarious. So good. Best match. I swear, man, where the hell is it? I don't think I can just type in Matt. AP, where did you go? Tucker would never sit Pat? Hell no, dude. I would never sit Pat. Pat could do whatever he wanted, and I would not sit him. Maybe I can find it on Twitter. Oh, Stephen Holman's reads Nuggies?
Hell yeah!
Steven, that was a really good tweet the other day. Your response to me, it was like on Instagram too. People screenshotted it, made an Instagram graphics out of it about the Chiefs D line sacks. That was good. That was good stuff, dude. I love that stat. Well, I actually don't love the stat, but good stuff. I love when people tweet out good stats, is what I should say. So Tucker is Team QB Sneak. Yeah, dude, I am Team QB Sneak. It can't hurt you. Apparently, I've never tweeted about Matt Beasler. That can't be right. All right. What year would this have been, chat? It probably would have been like 2020, no, 2 maybe? What year did the current play at Sporting? It wouldn't have been 21 because I just started KCSN in 21. It would have had to have been the summer of 22, right? Oh, we haven't done the quarterbacks yet. No. I've got a little bit more time today, so I might go a little bit longer, chat. I really want to find this picture because I know it exists, but I cannot find it anywhere. My Google Photos is another bad stat. Last 4 games, Chiefs 1-3, just 2. I don't like that one. I don't like that one. Yeah, this has to be right? Summer 2022 is when I covered. If you guys are you guys big into Missouri Tigers football? Summer of 2022, Joshua Manning committed to the University of Missouri. I covered it for Power Mizzou. Those photos are coming up there. I love Josh Manning. Love that guy. Oh, Michigan Chad Henne jersey at Chiefs training camp? Dude, did I tweet this out? If I've never tweeted this out, that's awful. How do you miss out on? How do I miss out on Michigan Chad Henne jersey? ZOU Levitt.
Hell yeah!
Jake, I don't know. I said your last name. Like I'm a ball coach. Dude, this is infuriating. That would have had to been like July, I think. Of 22. Okay, here's April. April, I went on a cruise. Not a big deal. Tucker, are you hitting up Arrowhead again before the season's up? Probably not. You can post it now. Better late than never. Dwight Diaz. Right. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, defense. I didn't know, Jackie. I didn't find a vintage white jersey. I did not. I did not find that. Man, I feel dangerously close to where this is still April. That's FIFA clips. I was playing FIFA. God, this is awful. I've got so much junk in here. Okay, that's June. You guys are just sitting here watching me try to figure out where this picture is. That's my birthday. That's a sporting game. It would have had to have been this year, I think. Would have had to have been this year. Coach Connor. May 8th of 2022, current last game at Sporting. Okay, so it was 2021 then. Thank you, AP. So it would have been 2021. I don't think I really 2020. Huh. They've had that stadium for that long? That's actually kind of crazy to me. AP is clutch, dude. I love AP.
Hell yeah!
He is single-handedly carrying this stream. So it would have had to have been 2021. That's crazy, dude. I did not feel like it was that long ago. Tara, my fiance, played soccer. She was a soccer player in high school. And she always hates when I play in these like media games because I have zero touch. And I just kick the absolute shit out of the ball. And she does not like that. Understandably so. I'm just trying to score goals, man. I'm just trying to goal poach out here. Man, when do you think the media game would have been? I feel like July 27th for some reason is the date that's sticking me. 2021 was at a Community America. Okay, I was not at Community America. Tuck, how's wedding planning going? Haven't started. Dude, I don't know. I have not started wedding planning. We're going to start after the season gets done. Kansas City, current. If I type that in my Google Photos, will it show me anything? Hell no, it won't. Wait. Friday, August 19th of 2022. Yep, I found it. Boom! I typed in current, I found the ticket. I took a screenshot of the ticket. No, you're good. Here we go. This is when I still had long hair, chat. Focus. Focus. You guys waited a long time for me just to show you this. That's crazy, guys. I'm so sorry. That's me and Matt Beasley after the KC Current celebrity game. That's me. Yeah, but that doesn't look like me anymore, chat. Not look like me. I also have one with oh god, last year's KC Current game. Oh, that was Trent Green. So 2023. Wait, what was last year? It's 2025 right now, right? Jackie, he was a Sporting KC star. and he's from Kansas City. Was Matt Beasler. I had it in a party pony, buddy. I had long hair. I had it in a little party pony. It was slicked back. I was a piece of shit. I believe I got one at the Currents new stadium. So that would have been what? I'm looking at 24 right now. 2024 is what I'm looking at. I don't know if that's going to be right. Of 2024. Oh, well. I got one with another sporting legend as well. I guess we'll never know who it is. That one I'm pretty sure I did tweet. All right, let's do let's do this. Let's go. Whoops, why did I do that? Idiot. We're gonna go here. Oh, here we go. Hang on. We got news, chat. Kansas City Chiefs, we have signed to practice squad player Essa Pohl to an active roster contract. We have placed tackle Josh Simmons on injured reserve. We have signed tackle Matt Walazeko to the practice squad. There you go. That's your move and counter move right there. Counter moves, plural. Shout out active roster player Essa Pohl.
Hell yeah!
I think you say it, Pohl. I'm going with Pohl. There it was, right there. We'll get the ball maps, HBK. I forgot to make the ball maps before because I was so focused on my interview with Matthew. I was laser focused, locked in. We'll just do it. I'll just share the screen, right? That's how we'll do it. All right. Here we go. That's not really right. Ball maps or quiz first, chat? Quiz or ball maps first? You guys can see my tweets, my scheduled tweets. You guys are seeing behind the curtain. You guys are seeing that I forgot the 5 p.m. Friday. Sporkle Rewind's here. Hell yeah, dude. See how many football quizzes we played. You guys are seeing, yeah, that's my pin tweet. It probably will be forever my pin tweet, actually. I was thinking about that the other day. You want to do Sporkle or ball maps first, chat? No, maps finish with the quiz. Tucker, are we ever getting K on? Yeah, we'll get K on. Yeah, let's get K on. That's a good call. That's a good call, Jackie. The tough part is like our stream ends like right, or our stream starts right when her show gets done. So I don't know if she would have any time. Let me reach out to, I'll text her and see here. We'll get her on. We'll get her on before. Ed, I don't know if that's true. I think that's a fake. I think that's a fake report. Yeah, I'll get K Adams on. Okay, December 7th, is this right? Remember when we tried to do ball maps last week, chat, and it wasn't updated? Do you guys remember that? I will do KCSN live whenever K Adams can. CBS single slate right here. Pittsburgh at Baltimore's your red. The St. Louis area, if you're in the the east part of the state of Missouri, you are getting Pittsburgh at Baltimore. I assume that they think that you guys are heavy into the AFC North. Oh, we get a late window game. Late window game on CBS. There's a dual Fox, isn't there? Yeah, okay. Fox latest Chicago. Ugh. Chicago at Green Bay. I guess fair enough. Heavy NFC. Rams at Zona. Nobody cares about that game. So throw that down there. Get that out of here. Is Kyler's playing, chat? 506 Sports was slacking last week because probably the holiday. I'll cut him some slack. This Fox one is like it as it should be, right? Rams around Arizona, but like Chicago Green Bay doesn't really move any needles for me, dude. I don't get excited for Chicago at Green Bay, chat. I don't know how you guys feel. Let's zoom into this a little bit more. That's probably good. I don't know how you guys feel about Chicago at Green Bay. That'll be Kevin Burkhardt, Tom Brady, the one crew. Jonathan Vilma? What? Kenny Albert, Jonathan Vilma? Adam Amin, Drew Brees is going to be a wash. Okay, let's just go this one. Cardinals hoping to get a trade for Kyler. They shut him down for the year. Go Pack Go. Yeah, I'm with that, Jackie. Yeah, I mean, I'll watch. I'm gonna watch the game. Obviously, doesn't have me jazzed. Okay, let's look at the Fox early. Let's do the Fox early. Whoa, Chad, that was a big one. Who's gone first, Kyler or Tua? Kyler. I think Tua's contract sucks to move, dude. Tua's contract is. Oh, dude, it is bad and brutal. It's so bad. Cincinnati at Buffalo will be in the Kansas City area, except if you live in, like, Rockport. Is that Trenton? No way. Grundy County is a 2 down. I think it's 4 over and 2 down is what Grundy, or it might be 5 over and 2 down. Please, God, tell me we're done with Romo for the season. Yes, actually, we are.
Hell yeah!
Well, not for the season. For this week. Kansas City, great news. Great news, Kansas City. If you only have local antenna television, or if you only have DirecTV, or if you only have Dish, or if you only have Xfinity, or if you only have YouTube TV, and you don't have Sunday Ticket, you don't have to listen to Tony Romo this week.
Hell yeah!
Congratulations, everyone. If you live in the Kansas City area, congratulations. You don't have to listen to Tony Romo or Jim Nantz on your TV at CBS. I don't remember watching with Jackie, I don't know if can't recall listening with the sound on. Look at this little weird little tail up here all the way in Minnesota. Minnesota. Get it? The Biden meme. Get it? Minnesota! I had to say it one more time. Okay, Pittsburgh at Baltimore. I'll be locked. Look at this little chat. We can zoom in now, chat, which is great. Whoa! I should have done this from the jump, dude. Look at that. Look at this little path right here. What's the green? New Orleans at Tampa Bay? Why does Oklahoma Tampa Bay? Oklahoma. Oh, Baker. That's why. Baker. Why didn't they just connect it? Weird. I guess they thought that Dallas really needs to watch. They thought Dallas really needs to watch the Pittsburgh at Baltimore game, chat. I'd take Romo over Collinsworth. I'm sorry, Patrick. I do not agree with that take. I like Chris Collinsworth. I know I know people do. That's a hot take to a lot of people. I like Chris Collinsworth. I don't know what Chris Collinsworth can do for me to not like him, because there's a little bit of like nostalgia about Chris Collinsworth, for me at least. There's a bit of nostalgia when I hear Chris Collinsworth. So that's hard to beat. Jackie Moon says Collinsworth to me is the bottom of the barrel, and I don't hate Romo as much as most. I'd take a KCSN stream. Who's the Thursday night game? Dallas at Detroit. Matt and I are probably going to record during that show. We're probably going to record during this, I would assume. Houston at Kansas City. Obviously, we know that. Monday night, Philadelphia at Chargers. Chargers then coming to Kansas City off of a short week. Dallas Detroit will be simulcast on KDWF, Fox 4, and Dallas, and WJBK in Fox 2 in Detroit. They're still doing buys this late in the year. I thought we were done with those. Carolina, New England, the New York Giants, and the San Francisco 49ers. Romo's become a character of himself. I agree with that, Steven. Patrick said, being he is the owner of PFF says enough about Collinsworth. Hashtag trash. I mean, yeah. I don't like that he owns PFF. That's kind of sucks. Miami and the Jets game is literally only in Miami and New York, which is probably. I feel bad for the folks of Albany. I feel bad for the fine folks of Albany, New York, for having to watch Jets Dolphins. I'm gonna be locked into that game though. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be locked in because I'm a sicko. I'm a freaking sicko, chat. Yeah. Josh Simmons did have surgery on his wrist. He's on the IR now. They signed Essapol, and they signed a practice squad tackle, I think, from North Dakota. That massive New York City has to be subjected to that. Yeah, that. Could it be characterized? Chat, could this be characterized as terrorism? For forcing people to watch Jets football? Ian, we'll see. Only God. It's in God's hands now, Ian, when it comes to the Chiefs' offensive line. It's in God's hands. It's in God's hands. Hopefully God's a Chiefs fan. We talked about New Orleans, Tampa Bay, right? Atlanta. Oh, these spots must be because they have late games, right? Their teams have early games. Collinsworth is just cringe. Romo is just not good anymore. Doesn't know the rules. Aikman is kind of a baby. Mahomes beat all his records. Greg Olsen is the best color commentator in the game. I think truthfully, you guys want to hear this? You and Matt still hate watching Jets Miami this year? Absolutely. Ooh. I'll ask him. I hope he has to write for that game for SI. If we do, we'll go live on like Twitter or something. On our Twitters. Hate watch that way. I forgot that we talked about doing that. Not a fan of Ref Crybaby Olsen. I think Greg Olsen and get this. I think JJ Watt's a really good color commentator too. I think those two are the best in the game. I think that this team right here, Iron Eagle and JJ Watt, should be the one crew for CBS. I think that Iron Eagle and JJ Watt should be the one crew for CBS. Over under 41 is 41.5. Go ahead and hammer the under. Yeah, there was a promo going on about like a Chiefs bet, I think I saw. How do you feel about Trent Green and his partner, Kevin Harlan? That's like a KC, that's a KC team right there. Kevin Harlan and Trent Green. I love Kevin Harlan. I love Trent Green. I like him. Did you and Matt ever get the Tua pick counter going? I forgot who the other quarterback. It's Tua and Geno. I should make that right now. His preseason partner. Oh, Ari Wolf. His preseason partner, Ari Wolf. What does Ari Wolf do? I don't really listen to the preseason broadcast. I listen to the preseason broadcasts when. And I like Trent. Trent's a great guy. I've had the opportunity to sit down and talk with Trent, and I told Trent Green that my first Chiefs football memory was him getting his concussion against the Bengals, and he said, "Wow, that makes me feel old." I said, "I'm sorry, Trent." Ooh, Mitch Holtis on TV would be interesting. Yeah, Tua and Gino are both at 14. We need a catchy name for it. You know? Like I don't know if like pit counter. You know, because there was like, what was it called? The Great Chase? Is that what the home run chase was called? We're good on maps, right? It's color commentator, what play-by-play broadcaster. All whites for the home opener. Thanks, Herm Edwards. Yeah. I think it's the Bengals week 1, right? I'm pretty sure that was Bengals week 1, yeah? That was 03, yeah? No. Had to have been this year, right? Had to have been 06. Yeah, no, that tracks because my first, yeah, it's this one. Because my first like real football memory is the Rose Bowl with Reggie Bush. I think that timeline tracks, right? USC, Texas, Rose, 2006. So that would have been, yeah, that would have been January of that year, right? That would have been at the beginning. That would have been, yeah, yes. 06 Rose Bowl played January of 4th of 2006. Yes, this game happened September 10 of 2006. Okay, yeah, that 100% tracks. I remember I got home from church and I watched Trent Green get his head dribbled off the turf. So, like, the first time I can really remember football was this Rose Bowl game, obviously. You know, this incredible, historic Rose Bowl game, right? This is my first football game that I can remember watching. And I was like, I like that sport. That sport's pretty freaking sick. That sport's awesome. And then I had to watch the Chiefs. I had to watch the 06 Chiefs. Oh, dude, Paul, I think I'm just putting together what you said. The pick derby, that's a good one. Ian, or Jake, sorry. I read Ian Eagle. I agree with you, Jackie. I think Ian Eagle. Ian Eagle. There we go. Ian Eagle is the best play-by-play guy. I 100% agree. All whites for the home opener. 2006 Chiefs Bengals. Love the live tonight, by the way. No way. Is that the her? Oh, no. It's NFL primetime highlights. Carson Palmer. I'll narrate him. You can't hear the sound. That's Herm Edwards. Hang on, chat. This hat right here. I like this with just the KC on it. I think that's sick. I think they need to do more stuff with just the KC, interlocking KC. I don't know what you guys think about that. That's what I think. They need to do more stuff like that. All right, here we go. We'll watch. 5 minute long. We'll just watch the... Oh, Larry. Get after him, Larry. He was kind of nice with it, wasn't he? He's kind of nice with it. Yeah. Who is this O-line? No huddle offense from the Bengals here in Carson Palmer. 2006 Chiefs. Pro Football Reference. Dude, they could not stop this no huddle offense from the Bengals. Gunther Cunningham was befuddled. Here's a take, chat. I wonder if you agree with me on this one. I'm really curious, chat. They had a week 3 bye week in 2006? Sorry, that threw me off. How do you have a week 3 bye week? Left guard or left tackle Jordan Black, left guard Brian Waters, center Casey Wegman, right guard Will Shields, right tackle Kevin Sampson. Not an awful offensive line at all. Their interior's nasty there. Brian Waters, Casey Wegman, Will Shields. Yes, please. Pass protection. Here we go. There's Dante Hall. Second quarter. Who are we talking about there? That's Jordan Black. Well, that's not good. Oh, brother. What in the world? This is the play that happens on. But, yeah, all whites for the home opener is a choice, dude. I wanted to... that's the reason I clicked on these highlights is because I wanted... oh, shit. That's so dirty. That's dirty then, dude. Damn. Yeah, that's dirty then. That is shoulder to the... Derek Thomas is your first Chiefs memory. That is shoulder to the helmet. Ooh, that head hitting the turf is brutal. Hunt family said never again to a whiteout at home after this game. Interesting. Your football memory was his last football memory. Yeah. Damon Heward came in the game. I'm sure things went well after that. Yeah. How is that ball still out? Wait, hang on a second. How is that ball still... That's wild. A whiteout at home is insane, dude. Defizz, yeah, that was very good. That was a good shot. 23-10. Damon Heward, 12 of 20 for 140 yards and a touchdown, 17 rushes, 68 yards. X-rays on head and neck negative. So he didn't break anything. Didn't break his skull, so that's good, I guess. Shout out Trent Green. Love Trent. There's a Chiefs whiteout, green blackout. Bro, it took me a minute to get that. That's insane. That's insane, Steven. What were we looking at before we did that? If we had... I remember my hot take I was going to tell you guys. Did I tell you guys my hot take? Bring back the green walls. Bring back the green walls. Bring back the green walls. If we had a whiteout with the current team, that place would go hard AF. Yeah. What's white and green and black? I know people might not think that's popular. Bring back the green walls. Man, this show was awesome, dude. Dude, this... God damn it, here, shout out. I mean... NFL Blitz was... I mean, what a great program this was, chat. I think it looks cool, Jackie. I think it's nostalgic, and it reminds me of when I was had the whimsy of a young child, is why I want to do it. What were we looking at before? Do you ever watch the early 90s games on AstroTurf? Yeah, Steven, sometimes I'll go, if you go to like NFL, what is it, Throwback? The channel, they'll have like some random ass games that you can just like watch. Sometimes they have like they got full highlights of like Ronnie Lott, Eric Digger, Dante Hall, full highlights. Was that Justin Tucker? You're telling me Justin Tucker was in the league at the same time as Dante Hall? That's kind of crazy. Those are like classic game highlights, but I mean, they have some iconic press. Oh yeah, watch NFL full games. Yeah, okay, so they have some of these like full games that you can watch in like crazy snow game. Like here's the 0 punts Colts Chiefs. Like the no punt game if you wanted to watch that again, I guess. Luck versus Big Ben, Rodgers, Flacco. I mean, it happened literally this year. But yeah, so like sometimes I'll go here and I'll just watch these. Like I'll try to find like some of the classic ones. Some of these classic full games, I'll just have them on the TV. Good Super Bowls here. Watching the 35-minute Dante Hall highlight reel. Red Tribe Cinema on YouTube is good. Full wideout with yellow end zone, green walls, and old school helmet on the field at the 50-yard line. Hell yeah, Patrick.
Hell yeah!
Let us be in charge of the Chiefs' aesthetics. I'm glad that they throw the Thanksgiving game up there already. Oh yeah, by the way, that was the most watched Thanksgiving game ever. Texans quarterbacks might be a tough one, dude. I just thought about that. Matt Schaub. I'm gonna have to figure out how to spell Brock Osweiler's name. 20 of them. I'm not ready for that yet. I'm not mentally ready. I'm not mentally ready. You guys remember when Hosmer stole our girl's QB? Our QB's girl? Good stuff. Those were the days, man. I think we did it the other day. Oh, I was going to make a tweet. I have to double check this is true. Justin Tucker. There it is. 2012 is when he came into the league. All right, now we're going to look at Dante Hall. He wasn't. I mean, I don't even know why I thought that was. You guys definitely saw that, right? Am I tripping? Justin Tucker was in that highlight film. Who do you think could be the craziest person to be like, oh yeah, this person was in the league at the same time as Dante Hall? Yeah, he does keep getting worked out. He certainly does. And apparently, he must just suck if, like, you know, like if he keeps doing all these workouts and they're like, yeah, now we're good. He must like suck now, right? I mean, he wasn't very good as last year, right? James Winchester. No, James Winchester came into the league. It's like, okay, hang on. Dante's last year was 08 with the Rams. So we need to find somebody. Okay, here we go. 2008. Let's do Cam Hayward. Ooh, Mercedes Lewis. That would be a good one. Dante Hall. No, I went to 2008 draft is really what I wanted. How do I do that? Can I just type in 2008? No. Sick. Appreciate that. That's really great. I'm glad that you guys really did that all season. Here we go. 08 draft. Joe Flacco. Calais Campbell. Hell yeah, D-Fizz. Great fucking call, dude.
Hell yeah!
What a pull, D-Fizz. Has to be it, right? Joe Flacco. Here we go. We're making it to live tweet. Chat. I'm not going to go to pro. I'm just going to go to x.com. All right, chat. Make sure you guys go retweet this too. It's kind of crazy to think about how Joe Flacco and Dante Hall were in the league, LEAG, at the same time. It's kind of crazy to think about how Joe Flacco and Dante Hall were in the league at the same time. Does that make sense, chat? Chat, proofread for me, please. Does that make sense? Favre played 2 seasons after Dante Hall retired. That's pretty good. Damn. Wait, what was that about Peacock? Oh, is that on the side? Oh, shit. You guys are right. I should have looked back further than 08. Nobody in the 07 draft class is still playing. Is still active. Oh, Nick Folk. Mercedes Lewis. Okay. Mercedes Lewis is old as hell, but... 05. That's a good point. That's a good point. Thank you, Seamus. Aaron Rodgers. That's a great point. Aaron Rodgers. I guess I just should have looked up the oldest active player in the NFL. I'm just doing quick scans of this, chat. 04, nobody. Anybody in the 03 class? Are we out of this? In LeBron's class? We can't be supplemental draft that year. Nice. We can't have anybody in 01 or 02, right? Has to be Rodgers. Yeah, that's a good call. Ron Rodgers. It's right in front of our face. Ben Roethlisberger, that's an awful idea, dude. It doesn't make any sense, dude. It's kind of crazy to think about how Aaron Rodgers and Dante Hall were in the league at the same time. Is there a weirder player than Dante Hall? Oh, WWE Library exiting Peacock. TNA's going to ABC. Ben is usually full of good. I think Brady was the closest after Rodgers. Yeah. But is there a player that's like that played a really long time before Aaron Rodgers to be like, oh yeah, look, like, you know what I'm saying? I think Dante Hall's a good gauge for the audience. All right, go retweet that, chat. Go retweet it. Go retweet it. I'll put it on Blue Sky too, if you're there. Vinatieri. He's not active though. I guess. I'm sorry, my bad. Vinatieri would have had to been right. Adam Vinatieri. 96. Bro, he retired in 2019. What the? Do the Barry tweet? What did Barry say? I should just love it how X all over the place has like spend more money, spend more money, spend more money. That's kind of fun, right? No in the chat. The human joystick played at the same time as the human shits.
Hell yeah!
That's a good one, D-Fizz. He ended off the Colts and was terrible. He was like 2 field goals away from the all-time record, I think. Let's see. He has the most attempts. He has the most makes. Yeah, he has the most makes in his career. Patriots. Colts. I kind of like the Wait, if I go back to the seasons, right? Can I see like who retired this year? Can I see like players who retired in 2005? Oh, there. Debuts. Deaths? Hey, whoa. Yeah, that would have been Andrew Luck's last game. I stated that your tweet should be that Matthew Berry doesn't believe in that. Oh. Sorry, AP. Yeah. Is that one, or it's going to be about how he thinks the Chiefs are going to make the playoffs? I probably actually, when we get done, I'm going to clip those. I'm not the only disbeliever. Haha.
Hell yeah!
Yeah. I should. Julius Peppers, dude, shout out. You can't see play. I really feel like you could see who retired. Jerome Bettis retired. Jerome Bettis did retire. That is true, Steven. I'm just messing with you. 2005. Man, I really feel like Pro Football Reference would have that. I usually love to just like hang out on Pro Football. Sean Alexander, who's the rookie of the year? Who was a player off the rookie? Cadillac Williams and Sean Merriman were your rookies of the year.
Hell yeah!
Any Oregon Duck QB can eat it. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah, dude. I'll get behind that. I don't know why, but I'll get behind it. All right. I cannot believe that, like, they don't have retiring. I guess you could go to, like, April and see that, right? In March, maybe? Command F. Retire. Emmitt Smith! Oh! Oh, you're right. I guess you're right, Steven. Yeah. Because this would be, yeah, and the draft wouldn't have been, yeah. Good call. Hey. What the fuck? That's a good call. Good call, Steven. Let's go to February 1st, actually. Let's go Command F. Let's go retired. I mean, that's not going to do anything for me. Jerome Bettis. Shout out, Steven, I think you mentioned that one. Richie Anderson. How long did Richie Anderson play in the NFL? 93. 93 is not a bad one. How, like, Jerome Bettis did Jerome Bettis play in the 80s? I'm looking for somebody who played in the 80s. Nah, 93. I'm looking for somebody who played in the 80s. This punter might have done it. 89! That's kind of crazy. I'll never forget Emmitt Smith on Dancing with the Stars, Jackie. I don't know what I'm doing, Jackie. I really don't. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, wait, he came back. This punter retired and then... Wait a second. Chris Moore retires February 24th of 26 of 2006. And he's wait, where did it go? And he signed February 17th. Oh wait. This is reverse order. That's why would they do it like that? That's stupid. That made me upset. Never mind. He retired. That's a linebacker. I bet he played a long time. That's stupid, dude. Why would you do it like that? Tony Baselli, he played in 95. He's a tackle. No. Jerome Bettis probably is the best one, I would assume. Victor Green, maybe he had a run. Hell no, 93. Only one in April. Maybe we'll get in here and be like, and then guys are like, I'm going to try to get on a team. Wayne Sherbay, 95. All right. Sorry, chat. Let's get down to it. Let's get to work. How long was Deion Sanders retired before he came back with the Ravens? That's a good question, Jake. Let's look it up. Glad you brought that up, Jake. 3 seasons. Did not play in 01. Did not play in 02. Did not play in 03 and said, yeah, I can give it a rip. I can give it a rip. And he played like ass cheeks, dude. I guess he played 16 games last year. All right, here we go. Let me change some settings around here. Let me change some settings and we'll rip this and get out of here. I still gotta set up lab. I'll cut those clips for the Soch. God, crap, dang it. There we go. I'll cut those clips for Soch. And we'll go. All right, Texans quarterbacks chat. Fill it up. Fill up the chat right now. If you're watching, appreciate you guys for hanging out all the way. God, I've been almost live for 2 hours. I've been live for almost 2 hours. Fill up the chat. Craig should be on tonight, Jackie. Fill up the chat with quarterbacks since 1999. It's since 1999. Can you name the quarterbacks who have started a game for the Texans since 1999? When did the Texans start as a franchise? Godly. 99. Okay. So, basically... Oh, wait. Their first season was in 02. They were awarded the franchise in 99. Okay, so this is just Texans quarterback history, essentially. So, here... we go. I'm going to go Watson. Is Stroud going to be on here? Yep. I'm going to go Mills. I'm going to go Schaub. Carr. And I'm going to go 2016. As Boss. Boom. Thank you for spelling it right, Seamus. Stroud. Oh, Hoyer. How could I forget Brian? Hoyer. Mallets, yes. Tom Savage, yes. Did I get Tom Savage, Brock Osweiler, Sean Watson, Matt Schaub, CJ Stroud, Brian Hoyer, Davis Mills, Ryan Mallett, Dave Carr, got all those. Oh, Case Keenum, was he there? He was. Kyle Allen, he was there. I remember him. Hoyer only got 9 starts. I feel like Hoyer was there a lot longer than that. 2014. Who would have been the quarterback in 2014? I feel like there's a bunch of random ones. I feel like there's a bunch of random ones that we're not. Because, like, look, we got a lot of the... If we get all the double dig, if we get the 2 guys who started 10 games for him, I'll be cool. I don't know if Teddy Bridgewater did get a start there. Bridgewater. Nope. Leinart? Oh, yeah, Matt Leinart. Wow, what a pull. Don't cheat. No cheating. Ryan Fitzpatrick got 12. Great pull, Jake. I meant to do this.
Hell yeah!
Pausing at 2 minutes and we can brainstorm, chat. 06 to 08. Who was the quarterback there in 06 to 08? Did the Chiefs play the Texans in 06? Colt McCoy make it there? I don't know. I don't know if Colt McCoy made it there. I'll jot him down. Colt McCoy. Andy Dalton? Maybe. We'll try it. I'll jot it down. Dalton. Barry. Clip. Oh, Anderson. McCowan might have got there too. Yeah, that's a good call. Anderson. McCowan. A McCowan brother had to have been there, right? One of those guys. Was Schaub? Yeah, Stroud. Yeah, we got Stroud. When? Fuck, I need to say a sentence, dude. Holy shit. When Arian Foster was there, was that Matt Schaub? Was that Matt Schaub? Tyrod Taylor, yes. I think we have a good roster right now to give it a crack. All right. Jackie says I was right with Matt Schaub being there with Arian Foster. All right, let's give this a crack and see what we have. That was Schaub with Foster for like the first year. And who was it after that? When was Arian Foster? This isn't cheating because I'm just looking up Arian Foster. '09 to 15. I thought it was later than that. I'll be honest. I thought he was kind of like. I thought he was earlier than that. We got Mallet already. We've got Carr already. Yeah, we'll look at it. All right, here we go. 2 minutes, and I'm gonna guess some of these names. Colt McCoy was one of them. Did not make it there. Andy Dalton, maybe? No, Andy Dalton. Anderson, and Anderson. Nope. McCowan. No McCowan. Taylor. Tyrod Taylor did make 6 starts there. Oh, yes. Yates is a good one. The Yates of Yates, baby. Rosenfels. Sage. Would have never guessed that. Great pull, Steven.
Hell yeah!
Great pull, Steven. Look, okay, so we got the double dig. I don't remember Sage Rosenfels from 06 to... No, I don't remember that at all. Who would have got a start in 2019, chat? Who was their quarterback in 2019? So their quarterback in 2019 would have been... It would have been Deshaun, right? So who was that backup in 2019 for Deshaun? You know what? Let's just try Gus Frerotte. Because that motherfucker apparently played everywhere. AJ McCarron. Did I spell that right? McCarron. Hang on. I'm pausing this because I got to make sure I spell AJ. All right, that's how you spell McCarron. There we go. Boom. Good pull. Brandon Whedon? Oh, yeah, dude. He definitely was there, wasn't he? Boom. All right, 30 seconds left. 3 starts in 03 to 05 and 2 starts in 03. So that 03 year must have been shit for them. Maddie. Who's Maddie? Hang on. I gotta pause. Maddie, how can we forget Maddie? Oh, I got Lionheart. Did I put right down Lionheart? Oh, I thought I got. I gotta figure out how to spell Lionheart. I only got 8 seconds left, chat. I got 8 seconds to spell Lionheart right. I would have screwed the pooch for us. I would have screwed the pooch for us. Okay. I won't know 03 to 05. I did. Okay. Sorry, chat. Sorry for panicking. I need to be better under stress. I don't know. I think I'll let it run out. Wait, did we say somebody up here? We got Whedon. Banks. Okay, I'll give Banks a rip. Tony Banks, dude. I'm all right with this effort, chat. I'm totally okay with not getting. With not getting David Ragone. I've never heard of this dude before in my life. Dude, he's not even show. Whoops. He's a coach. He played for the Berlin Thunder. There's no way we would have got that, chat. Ragone was selected in the third round of the 03 draft by the Houston Texans and started in 2 games behind David Carr. In 05, Ragone was named NFL Europe's offensive MVP. What? Leading the Berlin Thunder to the World Bowl. Ragone was waived by the Texans and claimed by the Cincinnati Bengals in 06. In June of 06, the Bengals traded Ragone to the St. Louis Rams. Ragone was released by the Rams during training camp prior to the 06 season and became a talk show. Oh, then began a talk show on Louisville, Kentucky radio. Huh. How about that? He coached at the Hartford Colonials in 2010. So he must have done radio from like 08 to 2010 and was like, I gotta get out of here. Oh, wait, 06. Sorry, 06. And he worked for the Hartford Colonials in the United Football League. Under his coaching, quarterback Josh McCown was named Offensive Player of the Week on September 20th. Whoa! Then he went to the Titans for as a wide receivers coach. Then he went to the Washington. He was at the Bears for a little bit. 2019, the Bears went 8-8, missed the playoffs. Oh, he's with Matt Nagy. He was with Nagy at the Bears. He was passing game coordinator for the Bears. 2021, he was hired by the Falcons as their offensive coordinator under Arthur Smith. Oh. 2024, we're going to name quarterbacks coach of the Rams under Sean McVay. This dude is the quarterback coach for Matt Stafford. Yeah, Wikipedia is fucking begging so hard, dude. Get out of here. Dude! He could be. Ragone could be in Kansas City before you know it, Chad. Look at him. Look at him freaking slinging that rock, man. For the freaking Berlin Thunder. Put some respect on his name. Put some respect on his name. Look at him slinging that rock for the Berlin Thunder. Dude, me either. I didn't even know who he was 15 minutes ago. That's crazy, chat. 6'4", man. I mean, he's got the... No shot in Missouri high school A, man. Lefty QB. Oh, yeah, he is a lefty. I didn't even notice that, chat. Good pull. Good pull there, chat. Right? Isn't that the website? I go to the Rams website. Coaches. Sean McVay. Mike LaFleur. I mean, that's got to be Matt LaFleur's brother, right? Chris Shula. Here we go. Position coaches. Quarterbacks coach, David Ragone, dude. Who would have thought that NFL Europe MVP Dave Ragone would be out here coaching Matt Stafford? And as we started the show talking about Matt Stafford, we will end the show talking about Matt Stafford. How poetic is that? How poetic is that, chat? Appreciate everybody hanging out with me and just chatting about some ball, you know, whatever. So we got ball on the brain, you know, got ball on the brain. Got to talk about whatever rabbit hole we get down. So appreciate you guys for getting down with me. Tomorrow's Thursday. I will be live once again. What day is tomorrow? The 4th? December the 4th? Yep. Be live once again. That will be a good time. Appreciate you guys all hanging out with me. You guys make it fun. You guys make it all worth it. So appreciate you guys. Shout out Matthew Berry. Shout out Benny Heiss for coming on the podcast. Thank you to those guys. Shout
Hell
out.
yeah.
Great show. Had a lot of fun talking to Matthew Berry. I'm going to go cut those clips. Matt Berry legit lowlight at this point. Chill, guys. Chill. Yeah, he wasn't talking about Dave Ragone, dude. He wasn't talking about Dave Ragone. Whoops. But that's what we talk about. I'm sure we will find another rabbit hole to go down. I'll probably do some research on some more stuff that doesn't matter. And I guess we'll see you tomorrow.